Hey guys, what's up? It's Noam Lightstone. Second video in a row. Let's just keep it going. This one is going to be called The End of Hustling or The End of the Hustle. Shit takes forever. So there's this big push all across entrepreneurship to always say you're hustling, I'm grinding, I'm doing this, and I love the grind and all that kind of stuff. And it's something I've always said as well. It's like I love the grind, I love the hustle. But after a recent burnout and just going back to 4-hour work week, and again, 4-hour work week is not the Bible, but in terms of lifestyle entrepreneurship or internet entrepreneurship, it is a really good resource for figuring out what you really want. I was looking back over it and I was thinking, what do I really want? And the idea of pushing myself past the amount of hours I want to work or just working for work's sake, I realized I was doing a lot of it and I'm like, fuck that, I don't want to do it. And you'll see social media figures or other entrepreneurs, say like Gary Vee or let's say Richard Branson, whoever, spending all their time doing work and all this kind of stuff. And I think Gary Vee just posted a video where he said, "Don't try to be me. I love business. This is what I do. I'll be doing it until I die, and I love not sleeping as much just because I love business." But if that's not you, and it might not be you, don't try to model it, and you don't have to hustle all the time. Think about it this way. Assuming, you don't, God forbid, hopefully it never happens, but you don't have a catastrophic, accident while you're growing up, you'll probably live into your 70s, 80s, 90s, and hopefully more than that. Hopefully you're in the 80s plus zone. And again, you're going to be working for a long time. If you're doing the 4-hour work week internet entrepreneurship thing, you might do the mini retirements and all that. But you probably will still keep working until, very late. So let's say 50s, 60s or something like that. So I'm going to assume that watching this, you're probably in the 20s, 30s kind of range probably. You might not be, which if you aren't, that's cool, welcome. But either way, you're going to be doing tens and tens of years and decades of doing this grinding thing. And you can grind your ass off and try to build your business faster and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, again, past a certain point, putting in more hours is not productive. There's a study done where the best masterclass musicians only put in 4.5 to 5 hours of really focused work a day. And you might say that sounds like nothing, but again, as per 4-hour workweek rules, a lot of things, it's removing the busy work that allows you to get the important shit done. The true revenue generating activities that you do for your business, instead of playing with font headers or some shit like that, which don't really matter. Things like putting out pitches, doing sales calls, and all that kind of stuff. And then everything else is supposed to be outsourced. So things like writing invoices and managing your accounting, maybe even managing clients, like all that stuff eventually gets pushed out and you don't need to be doing it. Of course, there's going to be some ramp-up time, and you're going to have to write processes to do that. But again, the point is that you still need recharge time. So again, you could do the hustle, you could do the grind, but there's still going to be an amount of time where you need to chill out, let your brain go, and just do nothing and recharge so that you're ready to do the next day. Because again, if you're doing this for the rest of your life or for many decades, and all you're doing is working, it's going to kill you. I mean, hopefully you start really loving your work and you move to doing more stuff that you really like doing in your business. But again, assume that you're going to be doing this for decades and decades. And if what you do every day is just a drag and you're just really pulling yourself into it, sometimes you got to do shit you don't want. And sometimes to build a business, again, there's a lot of stuff you have to do just because you have to do it. But again, it's important to really balance your hours with the amount that you can recharge and again, remove all the busy and stupid work that doesn't mean anything. And it leads all into being patient, because you can say, I want to have an X-figure business by this time, but no offense, but you don't control a lot of shit, right? You can set a sales goal, which you're trying to push hard on, which is great. Sales goals are great. But as long as you're putting out an amount of pitches, for example, to get clients, or you're sending out an amount of cold emails or something like that, A lot of times you don't control what other people do. You can think you do, but you don't. You can have the best pitches ever, right? But if your client's targeting is wrong or it's not the right time and you just run out of luck, let's say in a month, and you aren't getting the right clients, you're not going to hit your sales goal, and too fucking bad, okay? There's nothing you can do because, again, whatever you want to call it, if you believe in God or Buddha or the life force, whatever you want to call it, whatever that thing is putting you along a path, and you can put in as much action, correct action, into whatever your mission and goals are. But other than that, you kind of just have to let life, run as much as it can, and take you on towards your goals at whatever speed it wants to. And this might piss you off because you're like, well, I want this now and this now, blah, blah, blah. But it should take a lot of stress off, because then you can just let go and say, all right, I need to put in X hours a day because I know I need to keep pushing on this. And I know I should be doing, let's say, 4.5, 5 hours of work, because that I know is the minimum, and at least up to that point I'm productive. And then as long as I'm doing that, as long as I'm putting in my numbers, let's say in terms of, trying to get clients, or if it's in the gym even, doing my reps or going to the gym a certain amount of time per week, I'm just going to let go and see where the process takes me. Because along the way, in being patient and not having this huge monkey on your back stressing you out and just killing you, again, because stress will kill you if you let it, you can just breathe and you're like, all right, I'm moving towards my goals, I'm patient, and again, enjoying the process, as that phrase is pushed around a lot. I can, again, just let go. The problem is, again, a lot of people, including me, we're just impatient. We want things to happen faster than they do. And so we get frustrated when they don't, and we don't really enjoy the process. We just want the results, the goal, whatever it is we're actually running to. So we might say we're enjoying the process, but really we aren't. We're just impatient. We want the results now. But again, that's just not how life works. You control your actions moving towards the goal, but in terms of what you get back, you don't really control that. And again, there is something to be said about, sometimes you'll have to take a late night call, sometimes you'll have to push hard to hit deadlines. But other than that, as long as you're being consistent with your action, then it's just the end of the grind. I guess there is always a continual grind, but the end of really grinding yourself to the just bare bones where you just can't do anything anymore. And again, just letting it happen and being patient, because shit takes forever. Whatever you want to do, especially if you made a big change to get to a certain point, it's going to take forever, and it's going to take however long it takes. So you might as well say, well, it is what it is. I'm just going to try my best. I'm going to keep putting in my work, and however long it takes is however long it fucking takes. And that's something that I'm trying to really put in my mind, because I've stressed myself out for the past 2 years going into entrepreneurship, even though I did a 180-degree change from my career path. And like Mark Manson says in his article, "Shut up and be patient." If you swing the steering wheel of a ship and you want it to move the direction, even though it's going to move the direction at the speed it wants to, you're going to hit some icebergs along the way. And I've hit my fair share of icebergs, and I'm sure I'm not done yet. But again, it's going to take however long it takes. And it might piss you off at the start, but it should also free you, because again, you'll say, all right, I got to put in my time, got to put in my work. But as long as I do that, I'm good, because I'll get my results. I know I will, as long as I don't give up. But I just got to keep putting in my time and let however long it takes, take however long it takes.